Oman Television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. Greetings of His Excellency the President of Egypt and his good wishes to His Majesty the Sultan are conveyed by the Chairman of the Central Agency for Organization and Administration of Egypt. The Shura Council confirms in its first session the importance of activating the monitoring and legislative role in the coming stages. The Sultanate's illiteracy percentage is expected to reach nearly zero by 2024. And Sultan Qaboos University signs an agreement to develop engineering abilities in satellite telecommunications technologies. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, met His Excellency Dr. Saleh Abdul Rahman Ahmed, Chairman of the Central Agency for Organization and Administration of Egypt. His Excellency, the guest, conveyed the greetings of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt and his good wishes to His Majesty the Sultan, as well as greetings of His Excellency Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers and Government of Egypt. After welcoming the guest and their delegation, His Highness Sayyid Fahd reviewed the good relations binding the two brotherly countries, highlighting the importance of administrative organization and upgrading human resources to build up administrative competencies and develop their capabilities. Also, he stressed that the Sultanate profoundly looks after the civil service sector and enhancement of performance of all government administration in order to promote services and facilitate transactions. The meeting further touched upon the bilateral cooperation domains in a number of fields and the exchange of expertise between the two countries, besides training and qualification programs. They also discussed a number of current issues and developments in the regional and international arena. His Excellency Dr. Saleh Abdul Rahman Ahmed expressed his appreciation to this visit and hailed the distinguished relations binding the Sultanate and Egypt, as well as the progress witnessed by the Sultanate in the comprehensive development march led by His Majesty the Sultan. He further pointed out the importance of the talks he held with His Excellency the Minister of Civil Service and other officials in the Sultanate in order to reach positive results in terms of boosting the Omani-Egyptian bonds. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service. Enhancing cooperation and exchanging experiences between the Sultanate and Egypt in the fields of civil service administrative development as well as human resources development topped at the official discussion sessions between the Ministry of Civil Service and the Central Agency for Organization and Administration of Egypt. The meeting reviewed the civil service sector in the Sultanate and its development in addition to the specializations of the Ministry of Civil Service. The two sides also exchanged views on activating information technology, facilitating procedures and work systems in this sector. From his side, the chairman of the Central Agency for Organization and Administrations of Egypt pointed out to the establishments of the agency along with its main specializations and divisions. The Omani side to the sessions was led by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, while the Egyptian side was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Saleh Abdul Rahman Ahmed, Chairman of the Central Agency for Organization and Administration. The Minister of Civil Service signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Central Agency for Organization and Administrations of Egypt. The two sides agreed on encouraging cooperation in a number of fields like systems of employment, development, training and consultation, in addition to exchanging laws and legislations that regulate human resources and civil service affairs. They as well agreed on exchanging researches, studies, projects and leading administrative experience. The memorandum was signed from the Omani side by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, while from the Egyptian side it was signed by His Excellency Dr. Saleh Abdul Rahman Ahmed, Chairman of the Central Agency for Organization and Administration of Egypt. His Excellency Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, stated that the relations binding the Sultanate and Egypt are strong and dates back to 3,500 years. He also added that with the start of the Omani Renaissance, these relations witnessed significant developments and covered all fields, including civil service and management development. He as well addressed that there is a growing cooperation between the Sultanate and Egypt in every field related to human resources development. His Excellency Dr. Saleh Abdurrahman Ahmed, Chairman of Central Agency for Organization and Administration of Egypt, stated that the Sultanate experience in the management reforms as well as cooperation in the civil service is very rich. He also held the Sultanate's experience in the public administrations and rendering better services for citizens. He as well dwelt on the historical relations binding the Sultanate and Egypt. The Shura Council held its first meeting to approve the plans and agendas for the permanent committees. The approved permanent committees include Legislative and Legal Committee, Economic and Financial Committee, Health and Environment Committee, Education and Research Committee, Social Development and Services Committee, Youth and Human Resources Committee, Food and Water Security Committee, and finally Media and Culture Committee. After this approval, the permanent committees will start working from now on various economic, social and development issues. Social and economic issues will be presented during Shura Council session after approving the agendas and for permanent committees during the 9th Shura Council first term. Council members stressed during their deliberations on importance of exercising the legislative and monitoring role more effectively and broadly during this term. The meeting was headed by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Hilal Al Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council. Now, to elaborate more on this topic, we have here in our studio Dr. Abdullah bin Ali Al Amri, Deputy Chairman of the Shura Council. Dr. Abdullah, welcome to this particular session here. Would appreciate if you could tell us what are the main agenda of the fourth sitting of Shura Council that was held today.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this chance to talk about today's sitting of Shura Council. Actually, Shura Council held today the fourth sitting in this annual session. In the beginning, His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al-Ma'wali, the Chairman of Shura Council, in his keynote speech has thanked God for the good news we heard last week about the health of His Majesty Sultan bin Qaboos bin Saeed Al-Ma'azam Hafidhullah wa Abqah, praying for God to preserve him with health and long life and keep him as a father and leader for this great country.
Indeed, we all pray for that.
Then His Excellency gone through the agenda of the sitting. First of all, he informed their Excellencies Shura Council members of receiving the administrative and financial auditing report, which will be distributed to them, a copy for each member, in order to be used the information in the auditing tools. Then we gone through the annual plans of the permanent committees of Shura Council, which are 8 committees. Finally, informing their Excellencies Shura Council members about the draft of several international agreements which will be signed in between Oman government and other foreign governments.
Now, in this particular plans for the permanent committee, what would you like to highlight for us? Because I believe there are about 8 committees, and in these particular 8 committees, the plans have been made. Could you highlight on that a little?
Yeah, actually, Shura Council contains 8 permanent committees, which are Legislative Committee, Committee of Economy and Finance, Committee of Health and Environment, Committee of Youth and HR, Committee of Education and Research, Committee of Services and Social Development, Committee of Water and Food Security, and Committee of Media and Culture. All these committees covers different sectors which divided in between social and economical fields.
Now, also on the other side, you as well reviewed draft prepared for international agreement, as well as auditing report for the state. That would you like to highlight on that as well?
Yeah, actually, since Shura Council have 2 main missions, one of them legislative and the second one is auditing. So the annual report we received from the auditing institution is very important for Shura Council, since it contains a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of issues which will be used by Shura Council member to implement their auditing tools to focus on this issue in order to get up with solutions for them. And regarding the international agreements, according to the basic law, the international agreements passing through actually Shura Council, then to be signed finally by His Majesty Institute of Government of Oman. Today, actually, we discuss the vision of economy commitment regarding the vision of international agreement of economical and technical cooperation between Oman government and Hungary government, and also 2 other agreements with other countries.
Well, Dr. Abdullah, thank you very much for briefing us on the activities of the Majlis Shura. You've been quite active, and this is, I believe, it's the 4th sitting.
We hope to be like that.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And thank you once again for being with us here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Sultanate's adult literacy programs have set a new target to reach a near zero illiteracy percentage by 2024 from 1.85% by the end of 2018. The adult literacy program provided by Minister of Education targets to eradicate literacy in all governorates of Oman, even in rural and remote areas. The Sultanate has deployed numerous initiatives and programs to reach 100% literacy rate across the country in conjunction with other organizations. This includes the Learning Village project, which has reached 30 villages by 2018, and the cooperating school projects with more than 90 schools providing adult literacy programs. Other adult literacy programs include programs for Omanis living in islands and seasides, villages for Omani workers in the private sector, and the adult literacy program for individuals with special needs. Sultan Qaboos University and the Space Communications Technologies Company signed a cooperation program to build competencies and develop capabilities in space communication on technologies engineering. The program was signed by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Saud Al Bimani, SQU Vice Chancellor, and Engineer Salim bin Saeed Al Alawi, General Manager of the Space Communications Technologies Company. The agreement encompasses various programs for building cooperation and developing capabilities in the field of production, design and manufacturing, promoting national capabilities by organizing workshops and training courses, as well as encouraging the university students to develop solutions and technologies in space technology. The Space Communications Technologies Company was established in 2018 by the State General Reserve Fund with the mandate to meet the Sultanate satellite communications requirements. Once again, to learn more on that, here in the studio we have Dr. Mohammed bin Mani Rajab Beit Swalim, Associate Professor in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering from the College of Engineering, Sultan Qaboos University. Dr. Mohammed, Welcome to the studio. Could you kindly highlight the nature of this cooperation program signed between SKU and the satellite or the space company?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Abdullah, for this invitation. At the beginning, we are very proud and happy to sign this agreement between Sultan Qaboos University SKU and Space Communication Technologies, termed here as SCT. Through this agreement, we are very keen to build effective cooperation relations with the company SCT, and that will be attained through very dedicated, studied, clear roadmap that will be set by the College of Engineering representing the university and the second party. Through this clear vision that will be aligned with Oman's 2040 vision, there are several matters that will be targeted towards achieving them, including transfer of knowledge, students' capacity building through internships, as well as, if I can say, modernization of space communication-related products.
What were the main themes of cooperation program indicated there?
Yes, it's a very good question. Thank you. The main themes from this cooperation can be termed into three main topics. The first one is to strengthen the national capabilities in the production, in the design, production, and manufacturing of space-related technology systems and subsystems. Secondly, to engage students or Sultan Qaboos University students through research projects in developing innovative solutions and coming up with possible future products related to space communication sector. The last, of course, important item is aligned with academia or the college academic vision, which is towards providing community service workshops as well as consulting services. And of course, at the end, coming up with very productive publications and innovative intellectual property outcomes.
Indeed, the students as well as the academic staff will very much benefit from this particular memorandum. Would you like to tell us how long will it take actually to see the outcome of that?
Yes, thank you. This is very important item that we focus on towards students' capacity building, and through a very clear roadmap that the College of Engineering under Professor of Hajj Pardosian's guidance and instructions is trying to achieve towards coming up with very talented students' skills that are equipped with hands-on skills as well as very rich knowledge.
Well, thank you very much for briefing us on that memorandum with the space company. And we're really looking forward to see that the students benefits, the academic staff benefits, and we see the result as soon as possible. Thank you once again, Dr. Mohammed.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for foreign affairs, met with His Excellency Mohammed Jawad Zarif, Iranian Foreign Minister, on the sideline of the Regional Dialogue Forum for Peace and Security held in the Iranian capital of Tehran. The meeting discussed enhancing bilateral relations between both sides and current international issues of common concern. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. The Minister of Education held a seminar that highlighted the contributions of Omanis through history in spreading and instilling tolerance in the communities. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen Al-Shuraiqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs, pinned medals of long service and good conduct on a number of Royal Oman police officers and the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance. He also honored a number of officers in appreciation of their continuous efforts in serving the nation or nations and its people. The honoring came coinciding with the celebrations of the Royal Oman Police Day, which falls on the 5th of January every year. The occasion was attended by a number of senior officers from the Royal Oman Police formations. To promote values of tolerance and national identity, and in line with Oman's message of peace and coexistence, Minister of Education held a seminar that highlighted the contributions of Omanis through history in spreading tolerance in communities. The seminar highlighted also the role and importance of moderation and tolerance in building the Omani character and establishing platform for coexist with other nations and cultures. The seminar was attended by teachers and other stakeholders in education. The weather analysis of the National Multi-Hazard Early Warning Center indicates that a trough of low pressure will affect the Sultanate from Thursday the 9th to Sunday the 12th of January 2020. Chances of rains with various intensities, occasionally thunder showers, are expected starting from Thursday night, affecting the governorates of Musandam and extending on Friday to affect the governorates of Buremi, North Al-Batina, South Al-Batina, Al-Zahira, Masqat, Al-Dakhiliya, North Sharqiya and South Sharqiya. Seas will be moderate to rough along the Sultanate's coast, with a wave height ranging between 1.5 and 2.5 meters. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation advises all to take precautions during rain and not to cross flowing wadis and avoid venturing out to sea. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Greetings of His Excellency the President of Egypt and his good wishes to His Majesty the Sultan are conveyed by the Chairman of the Central Agency for Organization and Administration of Egypt. The Shura Council confirms in its first session the importance of activating the monitoring and legislative role in the coming stages. The Sultanate's literacy percentage is expected to reach nearly zero by 2024. And Sultan Qaboos University signs an agreement to develop engineering abilities in satellite telecommunications technologies. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Thank you for joining us, and once again, good night.